All right, so the right price. What you have to do, again, you do your homework, you find out the minimum cost of expenses, your direct cost to that, whatever it is that you're offering, your service or your product or the contract. You find out your indirect cost, what it costs to run your business in the time that you're going to have that project or that service, or whatever percentage you believe is of your effort and time going into that. And then that becomes your minimum cost. Well, another thing you want to think about too is, have you maybe underestimated anything? So you want to put in a buffer for anything that you may have overlooked. And then after that, you consider your profit, and you want to make a good profit. And it's not just how much money you want to make on this project, but if you're considering growing your business, then what is it going to cost to run that new business? And you want to start to price in that growth. Otherwise, you're never going to have the money to make that growth happen. You're always going to be struggling. That's because it could be a lot of things, but that's because your price is probably too low, number one. Or you are overspending because you haven't managed your expenses properly. You're spending more than you're budgeting or than you're putting into whatever it is that you're selling. And then you have this kind of downward spiral, financial downward spiral, where you can never get ahead. So part of it is charging more. The other part is spending less. I know it's simple, but that's the way it is. I mean, it's really that simple. And then, selling it is just confidence. Really, once you've done your homework, this is the price. That's the price. And that's what I have to offer you. And they can take it, they can not take it. But you want to make sure that if you do lower a price, you're doing it because you're okay with it, number one. And not just okay with, I feel like this is the right thing in the situation, but also okay because you've done your math and you know that you're safe to do it. And the other part is, you're not doing it because you're scared of losing the sale, contract, the product, whatever, right? But you're not doing it because you're scared of losing that. You're doing it because you want to do it, because you've calculated to do it, and maybe you don't. And I found that the best profit I've ever made came from first telling the person that I didn't want to do the work for them. And it wasn't that I was doing a reverse psychology type of thing or anything like that. It's just that I was worried, I was concerned, I guess, and maybe saw some problems in that project or in that job, and I was protecting my company. So I put up resistance and said, no, I don't want to do that project. I don't want to do that job. I don't want to take that on. And then the funny thing happens when you do that, because then sometimes they switch and then they start begging you, asking you, please take the job. Please, I'm trying to offer it to you. I get it, but and it's not fake. And then for one, it does two things in that situation. You do two things. You put yourself in a position where you're free. Your situation now, where you end up, is really your control. You've given yourself back full control over how you're handling the situation. That's a great feeling. And then once you do that, then they're asking you, then you have turned the tables on that negotiation. If you have an electrical business and you're providing a service, you're providing that service. That's something that they need, and it's something they're shopping for. So, and if they're calling you, it means that they're interested. You just want them to call you because they're interested in the value you provide. You don't want them calling you because you're cheap and you're easy to talk down, you're easy to manipulate. For two reasons. One, you're never going to grow that way. And two, the kind of person that hires you because you're easy to talk down on price is a totally different kind of person to work with than the one who is hiring somebody because they know they know their job, they know what they're doing, and they know the value they want to create, and they have a high standard for what they're putting out there, and they want you on the team because they see that you have a high standard too. Those are two different people, and your working relationship with those two people are going to be astronomically different. The one who's going there because he can talk you down on price, or she can talk you down on price, is never going to give you a happy relationship. You're never gonna have a sense of fulfillment or pride working for that person. You're always gonna feel taken advantage of and less than when working with that person. And on the other hand, the one who has a high standard and is bringing you in because you have a high standard, now you can stand on your standard, and you guys can actually work on, look, I know you have a high standard here and I have a high standard here. How about we do this? And now we have something to kind of build and create and grow on besides just price, because I can't grow in price. Only thing I can do there is take the price down, lower. See what I mean? So again, question here, Sales and marketing, closing deals effectively and at the right price. And so there's a lot of little skills that go into all of that, but the end is get a good name out there, know who you are, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, get some buzz around your company.